So for this design, I'm going to be using a 4.5mm hook, the one that doesn't have the rubber grip. And this is going to be important since we're doing Tahitian crochet. This is not a specifically Tahitian crochet hook, but it's just one that doesn't have a rubber grip. You're also going to be needing some scissors, a pom-pom maker, and your yarning needle. For my scarf, I'm going to start with a chain 11. This is going to determine the width of the scarf. If you want your scarf to be thicker or thinner, you just change the amount of chains that you do for your foundation chain. In my case, I have 11 chains. Now you can bring on your hook. We're going to be skipping the first chain, and into the next one, you want to insert your hook, grab the yarn, and pull up a loop. And we're going to be leaving those loops on your hook. Now, something important is that you want to make sure that your tension is the same all the way down. So you go into the next chain, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, and continue doing this all the way to the end of the foundation chain. We're just going to do it together. I have 2 more to go here. Okay, and I've got all those loops on my hook. I'm going to count them with you. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. 11 loops on my hook. Now you can go ahead and grab your other color if you're going to be doing a 2-color scarf. You don't have to, but in my case I will. So I've got my new color here, and I'm going to fold it to create a tail, and I'm going to bring it through the first chain only. Now I'm going to be yarning over and going through 2 loops. Yarning over, going through 2 loops. Yarning over, going through 2 loops. And this is exactly what we want to do all the way down. Going through 2 at a time. And this is my last one here. Okay. And now we are going to be going this direction again. And we're going to be going in through the loops of the previous row, which in my case are the yellow ones. So I kind of have to move it to show you the loop correctly. But if you face the work towards you, you can see every single loop behind this one looks exactly like this one. So you want to go in the middle there. I'll show you slowly. So I'm going to be skipping the first loop into the second. You want to insert your hook in the middle like that. So you insert it in the middle, grab the yarn and pull up a loop. And we're going to do that all the way down. Go into the next loop, which is the yellow one. Grab the yarn and pull up a loop. Once you pull this loop up, you can kind of see it better, like the fact that you went in the middle of it. When you're going through it, it just kind of looks like it's just one strand, but you're actually going to the middle of the loop. We're going to do this all the way down, grabbing our yarn, pulling up a loop, making sure that our tension is similar. Meaning that that loop is like the same height. And so when we're at the end here, this first one's going to be a little bit different because it's your first time attaching the new color. You're going to go through one of the loops of the blue there, and then you're also going to grab the yellow. And then you're going to grab the yarn and pull through both. And pull up a loop. Now let's count our loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So you want to make sure that you always have the same amount of loops as the foundation chain that you started with. Let's go back again. We're going to be doing, you change your color. And now for that very first one, it's going to be the same every single row. You're going to yarn over and go through only one loop. Now we are going to yarn over and pull through both, or 2 loops at a time. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way down. And now we are going to be doing those loops. So for every row forward, when you're at this point, you always skip the first loop, go into the next one, grab the yarn and pull up a loop. And see, you can see the loop there. Once you've pulled up your loop with the current color, you can see the loop of the previous row a little bit better. And so we do this all the way down, inserting our hook, grabbing the yarn and pulling up a loop. Again, at this point, we just want to make sure that the loops are the same height, meaning that we're using the same tension. Now I'm gotten to the end here. I'm going to be going through the blue and the yellow, grabbing the yarn and pulling up a loop. Now I'm going to grab my other color because I'm going to be going backwards now. The very first one I yarn over and I only go through 1. And now I'm going to yarn over and go through 2 at a time, all the way down. I'm trying to make a few rows with you just so you can see what the work's starting to look like. It's going to start giving you those knit stitches at the front. But you need a few rows so you can kind of appreciate that. So let's do maybe 2 more together. I skip the first loop, go into the second, grab the yarn and pull up a loop. And this is funny because I don't ever hold my hook like this. I think this is the knife grip. I always do the pencil grip. But for this kind of stitch, you can't really do the pencil grip. So it takes a little bit of getting used to if you have a different grip than the knife grip. Now I'm at the end here and I'm going to go through the loop of the yellow, but also grab the blue. Grab the yarn and pull up a loop. Change colors. Since it's the beginning, I just go through 1 loop only. And then I'm going to go through 2 at a time. And okay, here we have it. It's starting to give you that look that kind of looks like a knit effect at the front. And then at the back, you're going to be seeing these stripes. And you'll feel that it's a bit of a chunky fabric. So now you want to repeat those rows back, those 2 rows back and forth until you have the length that you want for your scarf. I'm all done the length that I want. My piece measures 22 inches long. So the way that you know you're done is if you put this around your dog's neck, your pet's neck, we're going to be folding the top of it, like where our current working yarn is. We're going to be folding it like that and then passing this through. So once you create that fold and pass the yarn through, this is what's going to go around your pet's neck. So I've made sure that I've measured that around their neck, ensuring that I can fold it, and then I have 1 tail here. Just pull this. I have a little bit of a tail because this is where we're going to be attaching our pom-pom. So this is kind of the measurements that you want to do around your pet's neck. And now I'm going to show you how to sew it together. So I just finished 1 of the rows. I'm going to be cutting, I believe, both my colors. I'm going to be cutting my yellow, leaving a long tail. Now I'm going to be sewing with this blue. So I'm going to be folding it, again, making sure that the other side goes through. So in terms of how wide this needs to be, I'm always going to double check with the other side of my scarf to make sure that I can get it to go through it like this. and then adjust until I have exactly the width here of what the other side of the scarf is. And this is where I know how big this fold needs to be. I'm eyeballing it, you guys, but you can also use a stitch marker. Once you know the width that you need, put a stitch marker just in case that makes you feel better about your positioning. In my case, I can eyeball it and it's totally fine. I'm not the best sewer. This is another disclaimer. So if you have a better sewing technique, please go ahead and do so. In my case, I'm just going to be going to the back, into the blue, and then up into this blue from inside and pulling it close. And then I'm going to be going kind of back and forth from top to bottom and then from bottom to top between the blue threads. Okay, it's time to make the pom-pom, and personally I like using these guys. I think I got mine from, I want to say Amazon a long time ago. The brand is Clover or Clover. Clover. If you need a tutorial on how to use this, go ahead and maybe search for that. I'm gonna go ahead and use both my colors, like my blue and my yellow, at the same time to create a pom-pom. So grabbing both colors at the same time, I'm going to be basically just filling up the pom-pom machine. And you just go around and around and around. The first time I did this, I didn't actually use two colors. I just used one. Ideally, you want to do this evenly so that the pom-pom doesn't look super weird. Fill this all the way up and then do the same on the other side. Complete it on the other side. Do the same process of hiding these tails here. Then you have both sides filled up. You can go ahead and close them. And now we're going to be cutting this way and this way. Cool. Now you're going to need a strand of whichever color to close this off. We're going to be putting it through the little machine thing here, little tool. Pull it through the middle to then create a knot, 2 knots to secure it. And then we can go ahead and open this up. You're gonna have to kind of shave the edges to make it a little bit better. But here we have it. This is really ugly right now. But again, we can shave the imperfections. Look what it looks like. So we're gonna have to go ahead and cut off the parts that are not looking very pretty. Trim it up. Make sure we get a perfect little ball. And once you're happy with your pom-pom, I'll show you how to attach it to your scarf. So the pom-pom's gonna go into the end that doesn't have the loop, of course. And the way that I'm going to attach it is, I've got my pom-pom here. I've got a yarning needle. I'm gonna grab one of the strands of the pom-pom, and I want to attach it to the work into like the middle of the end. So this strand that I have in my needle, I'm going to put it through the middle, and I'm kind of eyeballing that. So it's gonna go through here. That's one of the strands, right? So honestly, now I'm just going to do a knot, a very, very tight knot. So we're tying it up, and I'm gonna do several of them just to make sure that it's nice and tight. And then we can go ahead and thread these through for extra security. You can grab them and then put them through the actual edge of the scarf. I'm gonna hide it through the stitches themselves. And I'm gonna do that a couple of times just to make sure that it's, you know, nice and secure. After this, I'm going to cut off my yarn and we're all done.